The first time my back hurt, my boss had yelled at me the day before. And then I got better. And then the second time my back hurt, my wife had yelled at me the day before. And then I lost my job, and then it's like a spiral, and then they end up debilitated and needing surgery. So I'm bringing this up because everybody knows that life circumstances can make you sick, or that stress can make things worse. But this very particular way of talking people through what was going on at the time of their life is extremely healing. And just talking about the issues that may or may not be 100% related, we don't know for sure, creating a safe space for patients to even just talk about their life is extremely healing. So we include that as part of our process. So the next piece are functional tissue mobilization and specialized performance rehab training. And I'm going to talk about those in the context of the Aqua method. So this is a process that my team and I developed that was really the culmination of how could we do the most intensive rebuilding of the nervous system and the body without cutting you open. And I'll tell you how it started. So I have a buzzing in my shoulder. First time I had it, I was like, oh my God, I'm totally my patient. Like, I have a buzz. Like, you love it as a doctor and your patient says I have a buzz. Like, what does that mean? I don't know. Well, now I know. I have a buzz in my shoulder. And everybody I saw wasn't a nerve, wasn't my neck, wasn't my shoulder joint. Nobody really knew what it was. I had a separate thing. I had a hip strain. Same thing, wasn't the joint. Maybe it was the soft tissue. It definitely wasn't the joint. And I didn't know what to do with these, and I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm supposed to be able to fix myself, no problem. So I did a couple of cell and biologic medicine attempts that I'm not going to go into, but the point is that I worked with probably the foremost person in for hydrodissection with biologic medicine, and it helped maybe for a couple weeks, actually about a month and a half, and recurred. And it was like I was back to where I started. I didn't know what to do, and I thought, well, I'm not gonna, and I get a discount, right? I can order my biologics myself. I'm still not gonna spend, $2,000 every 3 months to fix my shoulder. That makes no sense. So then I met my team members who healed me, and I'll tell you about them in a second. So the solution for it, I told you we're trying to build a multi-layered treatment for the body, the nervous system, that was without surgery to treat some of the most common things that we see. And what we came up with was using 3 healers at once and a fully supportive neuroplasticity process, and of course, no surgery. So who are the 3 people? It's me, neurosurgeon, a doctor of chiropractic, his name's Dr. Joey Matina, and a performance rehab specialist, his name is Matt Lindemood. And here we are, 3 musketeers. We just took this picture yesterday. I'm like so thrilled with that, it looks great. So we named it the Aqua method because water is fluid, soft, yielding. Water will wear away rock, which is rigid and cannot yield. What is soft is strong. So there's a very profound thing about this method that is, it's very intense, but it's also very soothing. And also part of this, 2 things, and then the third thing is that we are creating fluidity in the tissue as we're working on you. So there's like a physical connection to water as well. So we broke this down into 4 R's just to explain a little bit more about what this process is. So the first one is reveal, and I told you early in the talk that your doctor has no idea what's wrong with you. What I figured out with my own injuries was that, a sports medicine guy could tell me one thing, but then Dr. Matina, the chiropractor and functional tissue guy, could tell me another thing. And then the trainer blew my mind and told me, your whole chain is out, and this is why this is not working, and this is why this is not working, and your body's not moving together. And so reveal is about all 3 of us together in a room looking at you, getting the whole team together and saying, I know why you're hurting. And it's a profound thing when people are just like, oh my gosh, I've been seeing this guy over here and this guy over here and this guy over here, and they all have valuable things to say, but they're not talking to each other. So back to the medical system, we're incentivized to do a whole bunch of operations and not talk to each other. So also part of this, the cellular health evaluation, where we go through a functional medicine workup and do inflammatory check as well. And then also part of Reveal is the mind-body connection and the biologic decoding. I explained it a little bit earlier. And the key thing about this is we make it part of the treatment. Prior to the treatment, we actually do a guided visualization and help get the mind and body in parasympathetic state. And so people come in really ready to heal, and then we start uncovering what is possibly, if there's some emotional or psychological roots to why they're having the problem at that time. I had a patient the other day tell me that he listened to Sarno's book. I don't know if you guys know Sarno. He wrote a great book called Healing Back Pain. And that book, when I first read it as a surgeon, he says in that book that like disc herniations like never need surgery. I'm like, oh, there's no way. Like I know sometimes it's really severe, you gotta operate on these people. And so this patient listened to that book, had a very large disc herniation, because I saw his images, and he said after he listened to the book, his pain was gone. Like, can you explain that? And we get these stories all the time. So my point is that now for him, it didn't stick though. So his pain recurred. And so part of this process that we've created is to take advantage of those non-surgical modalities and then get them to stick. So this is just a picture of our team evaluating a patient together. And then, so the next phase after Reveal is Restore. So I mentioned that we do breathing practice first, and then we do the laser activated PRP procedure that I mentioned. This is a very anti-inflammatory procedure. There are reasons, we can talk about that later. Ultimately, what we're doing with this procedure are activating the body's natural healing systems. As I said, when we talked about the stem cells, what they're doing is turning on the local cells, secreting those anti-inflammatory and modulating factors. And then also included in the Restore part of this is the mind-body-spirit coaching. And then for Revitalize, the next R,